Okay, guys, here's a possible final rendering for the kitchen. So, to go over this in detail, this wall to the left of the fridge is 24 deep. This fridge leg, the top is notched out, but the fridge leg is 24 deep. So, when we put the trim on the top of this is notched out. So, the molding actually will be right here, and the front of the molding's flush with the front of the fridge leg. So all that to say, the molding that goes above the cabinets, similar to the photo that you texted me, is just about 2 inches tall and flush with the face of the cabinets, because we want the front of that molding flush with the face of this. And we're rolling the dice a little bit, assuming that these walls are all plumb and it doesn't lean out. If it's in, that's all right, but if it leans out, we might have an exposed end, which could just be painted. So typically these are deeper, maybe 20, well, not maybe, they are 26 and a quarter. The base cabinets are 23 and 7/8 plus 13/16, the thickness of a drawer front. So when the front edge of the granite is put on, and that's typically 25 and a half deep from the wall, it dies in to the side of the fridge leg, and the granite does not stick out past the fridge leg. So I have made these cabinets a little bit shallower, and I can't make them any shallower than what we've got, so we can still fit our standard depth drawer guides in. So the granite will have a little ear that'll stick out if it hangs out an inch and a half. So that this is the X is on the front of the cabinet. So if we come forward 13/16, which is right there, so that's the front of the drawer front, and then the granite will probably overhang typically an inch and a half. That's right there. So the granite's going to stick out. So if we do an inch and a quarter plus 13/16, or 13/16 plus an inch and a half, so the front of the granite's going to be at 2 and 5/16, which is right there. So from the front of that fridge leg to the front of the granite, you'll have about an inch and a 16th of granite showing there, which isn't the end of the world, but just going over the fine details. So that square soffit, no typical crown. The soffit will be about 2 inches tall across the top like this. Open cabinet. The doors hang below the cabinets. So that's the bottom of the door. So we have about 2.5 inches that the doors hang below the cabinets, and there'll be a piece of finished material behind the doors. So when you open them, there'll be that finished piece there, and that'll leave room to put under cabinet lighting over here. So these cabinets are shallower than normal, but I doubt you'll notice losing that little bit of space there. Lazy Susan in the corner. Sink, dishwasher, trash. And then this cabinet, which overhangs. So the back of this will have a panel. And as far as the, that shouldn't be there. That should just be a vertical piece. But for the hood cabinet, 22 deep, if you do an insert hood, and I need to know where that outlet is in the wall here. And then if we just did floating shelves, some reason it put crown molding over here. So hood cabinet, yeah, disregard that crown molding. But the hood cabinet is, I mean, that's the depth. That's 22 deep, and then floating shelves, and these could be contrast. So if you do an insert hood, the hole on the bottom of this hood needs to be about 19 inches from back to front. So that's how deep that cabinet would need to be. And again, I need to know how wide or where that hole is to make this wide enough if you guys want to go that method. The last drawing I sent you, I had a hood, really low profile. I think those only stick out about 14 inches. So that would bring this back quite a bit. But the biggest question is to figure out where that hole is in comparison to here. But these would be possibly just contrast floating shells if you don't want uppers left and right of the hood. So anyway, let me know what you think of this, and we can keep sharpening our pencils on getting this finalized.